The new year is right around the corner and I'm trying to make sure I step into it as a productive mommy, but like we can't be productive if we don't got a system. So let's build one.
Now, get out your pencils and paper and write down the assignment.
Greetings, good day, and welcome. I'm Deanna. On my channel, I talk about everything project management, grant management, nonprofit management, all that good stuff. I sat back, I binge watched a lot of videos. I took notes on the methods and tactics that best resonated with me, and we gonna talk about that. I'm here to share with you guys what I found, what I learned, and how I'll be utilizing these practices to kickstart my productivity into the new year. So let's learn together. First and foremost, shout outs to the creators that I learned from. I really loved how they discussed productivity and how they approached building out their own productivity system. Make sure you check the description for the videos that I'm referencing. For me, I based my research on how I want to build my productivity system on what would best cater to me professionally and personally, in addition to making sure that the system that I set up was good on my mental. Like, there's no way I'm gonna have a system in place and it's driving me crazy. Like, it should be helping me, not hurting me, okay?
Okay.
Number one, your mind has to come before the system. Though I came across her videos much later in my research, Tiffany girl, you reminded me that there's no way I'm gonna be able to be productive if I'm not grounded. Her first point was that before you can start on anything, you need to make sure that you are planting. Your goals and value will only come to life if you are truly connected and in touch with your higher self. Seeing this point, it made me just stop and really reflect on the last few weeks of my life. And I'm like, damn, I have not been talking to God as much. I have not been connecting with him. I have not really been meditating and doing my yoga and journaling and writing things down and writing everything out. And as a result, my productivity has tremendously suffered. Me becoming so disconnected from my higher self and really being able to take a step back and really analyze, what is it that I want from my life? What are my values? I feel like now that I am in my 30s, how I think in my 20s is way different. And I need to be a little bit more diligent when it comes to connecting with my higher self. And if I am not grounded, if I am not connected, if I am not putting into practice the things that keep me grounded and keep me in the direction that I'm supposed to go, I'll never have a true sense of my values or my needs. If I'm not reflecting and not connecting, how in the world am I supposed to determine what I need? That doesn't make sense. Literally makes no sense. I've definitely over like the last week have been much more intentional with my grounding, and seeing Tiffany was a great reminder of like, okay, Deanna, you're going in the right direction. But as I am getting more grounded and getting my goals and my values in order, I have to have faith in them. Just like faith without action means nothing, the same can apply for the reverse. I have all these goals, I'll have all these things that I'm trying to do, and I'm taking action and such, but if I don't believe in them and I don't believe things are actually going to come to fruition, then what's the point? It is just as important for me to take action and to be faithful in these actions as it is for me to be faithful that what I am doing will reap what I sowed. You feel me? And then the final thing that I had to accept, and Kyla, I hope I'm saying your name right, she gave me this reminder, is that my brain can only hold but so much information, and that I need to work on being much more proactive instead of reactive. First of all, she told me that I need to delete my mental to-do list. And I'm like, damn, like how she knew that that's what I had in my going on right now. I know I be telling myself like, no, I'm gonna remember to get it done. Like, I don't need to write it down. Like, my brain is gonna store it. It's not gonna store it. I don't know how many times I told myself if it's not on my calendar, that means it don't exist. I do that professionally, but a lot of the time I don't do that personally. So that I be tight if I forget to go to the store and I'm like, but you didn't write it down, girl. Like, you didn't write it down. And if I haven't said it before, I'm gonna say it now. I absolutely hate having to work to put out fires. And what I mean is like, you ever seen that meme of the dog and he's sitting in the kitchen and the fire is going around him and he's like, oh, this is fine, this is fine. It's dead not fine, like at all. I don't think it's productive in our personal or professional lives to always have to be reactive to something. We live in a country, in a space and time and era where instead of people trying to be preventative, they're just reacting in the moment. And it's like, how much easier would our lives be if we took actions to prevent things? If we saw something and we were like, you know what? To avoid this happening, because we know the result of this is not going to be good if we don't take action right now. So let's take action now, be proactive, and put a halt to it so we don't have to be reactive later. Like I said, we shouldn't be having to work to put out fires. Why always work to put out fires when the fire don't even have to happen? And fires spread quickly. Like, now you on go time trying to figure it out? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So, I'm changing that starting today, right now, in this moment. Now, my favorite layout that I found for a productivity system was by Rachel in Theory. It was something that was simple enough for me to illustrate it for myself, and it catered towards my type A personality of like organizing, color coding, you know, all that good stuff. My type A's, I see you and I love you and I understand. In this system, the first thing that we're gonna think about is, where are your thoughts going? As I said, the last few weeks have been a lot and I've really allowed myself to get sloppy. I'm not taking the time to really write out all my ideas and thoughts and just getting them from my mind onto the paper, and that has to stop. And when I have been finally jotting things down, I just grab the first notebook that I see. That is a big no-no. Things are already all over the place in my mind, so when I decide to brain dump, that also can't be all over the place. Like, I'm not setting myself up for success when I do that. And while watching Rachel in Theory, she called this your capture method. When I'm thinking about what it is I would use to like brain dump on, I'm thinking about the size, the convenience, and the capacity. Size as in, is this something that I'm throwing in a book bag or I'm trying to throw in my purse? Convenience is where, will this item always be like easily accessible? Is this something that like I can access through like other devices connected to it, etc., etc. And capacity is how much information can I put into this capture method. For me, and it shouldn't be too much of a surprise if you've watched any other of my videos, my capture methods are definitely going to be my Kindle Scribe, my phone, and as an alternative, a tiny notebook. Honestly, truly, I'll probably spend another video really sitting down and showing you guys how I fully utilize my Kindle Scribe, but I love that shit. It's one of the best purchases I've ever made. No funny.
Are you from New York even?
Obviously, I want to use my phone because I have my phone with me all the time. I could just open notes or like a blank pad on my phone. That's very easy to do. And since my phone is already with me 24/7, that means I'll always have something to write on 24/7. And lastly, sometimes I don't want to bring my Kindle Scribe with me. It is larger, so if I have a smaller bag, it doesn't just fit in there. So I will have a little tiny notebook for the times that I can't have my Kindle Scribe with me. And on top of being needing to know where my thoughts and ideas are going, I also have to designate a time to when I will be getting all these thoughts down on paper. Now, previously, I was doing this on Monday mornings. Insane, right? But I've completely fell off from that. I haven't dedicated any time in the morning to really just sit down and flush out all the things. So your girl's gonna start doing that again. Will it be on Mondays? I don't know, but we shall see. Next, when building out a productivity system, how are you taking notes? Now, I was asking myself this question: do I want to take notes physically or do I want them to be digital? And honestly, I need both of them. To no surprise, my note-taking tools of choice will be my Kindle Scribe because I get the best of both worlds. And even though it feels like I'm writing in a notebook, it's electronic, you know. Y'all know the vibes. 2, Apple Notes is definitely my favorite notepad to utilize, especially because I can go from my iPhone to my iPad to my desktop, and you know, that little thing called iCloud just makes things so much easier. So it is easy for me to access my notes from anywhere at any time. And like I had mentioned earlier about having a tiny notebook, in general, I'm going to pick back up a physical notebook. It has been a very very long time since I have picked up a pen, like an actual pen, not my Kindle Scribe pen, and wrote on a piece of paper that came from a tree. It's been a very long time. And I have blank notebooks on my shelf. Like behind me, there are blank notebooks, so I need to utilize them. And there's just something about like sometimes physically writing on a piece of paper. And like I said, I'm type A, so color coding and like adding tabs and stuff into the notebook is so like relieving to me. That's like, I don't know, it helps me regulate my stress levels. Like I find it so relaxing to organize a notebook. Now that might just be me, but if this is also you, drop a pencil in the comments, because all my type A mommies and poppies stand up strong. Now when thinking about if you want your notes to be physical or digital, I want you to think about your storage and your recovery. If you are somebody that is taking notes in a physical notebook, is that a tool that you regularly have with you? Do you find that if you are even like, I don't know, outside at a restaurant or something, that you could just pull out that notebook and write on? Or do you want a digital option? So in those instances where a physical might not work, you can pull out your phone real quick. Maybe you're taking notes on your iPad or your desktop. So storage and recovery of notes and how you are needing to share notes, like how I said I do on my iPhone, and I utilize my iPad and my desktop, you know, with Apple Notes. That's easy for me, but determine if that is also easy for you. So now I brain dumped and I got all these notes and stuff laid out, but what am I using to track my task? Like I mentioned earlier, I've done a really good job of keeping myself organized professionally, but not personally. And something else that I also loved from Rachel is that she had a brain dump page, but not simply just for capturing your ideas and thoughts and stuff, but just a brain dump page to have for the things that you actually have to get done. This was something that I was typically doing on my Kindle Scribe, but I think I'm gonna switch back to a physical notebook. I know that sometimes when I'm making my to-do list, I try to make time for it as I am writing them down, and I'm like, Deanna, I just need you to flush out all the things that you need to do this week, everything that you could possibly imagine, and then go from there. I can't like, you know, write down a task, delegate to a time, write down a task, delegate to a time. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't until watching it literally wasn't until watching Rachel that I was like, yo, that is so detrimental. Like, girl, slow down and grab the wall.
Slow down, grab the wall.
And another thing that she made me notice that I was doing too that was detrimental is that I was using this brain dump page for my task and my thoughts. When I am using something to track my task, like those are the things that I actually have to get done, like activities that have to be completed. This is like if I need to go grocery shopping, if I need to submit a progress report to a funder, or if I need to write a script for YouTube. Those are actual tasks that need to get done. On the flip side, those tasks should not also be coupled with my thoughts and ideas. Things like a new topic for YouTube that I want to discuss, or if I heard a quote or was like on the train and see a quote somewhere and I wanted to write it down so I could expand upon it in my journal later. Like, those things don't go together, and I need to be much more diligent about keeping them separated. I still need to do a little bit more digging myself, but I am looking for something that can balance my regular life and my work life. Rachel had mentioned this platform called Active Flow, and the features that she has showcased in her video really resonated with me and looked like exactly what I needed. So I think I'm gonna try that out, and if I do, I will certainly let you guys know. And Active Flow, if y'all watching, but even with me getting something to better organize my task, I need to be much more intentional about my personal tasks. Things like going to the gym and making sure I eat, and even just walking my animals. Like, those are things I have to get done on a daily basis or on a regular basis, and I should be writing them down and making sure that they are done. And again, not just relying on my mind to record and remember every single thing. I also also want to train my mind to look at tasks and the things that I have to get done differently. And my favorite thing was Ali Abdaal's might do list and his daily highlight. He described his might do list as the things you can get done that day. Like, you have the choice of getting this done. So I might check this off my list, and if I do, that'd be great. But if I don't, you know, I'll just proceed and move forward. And then on the flip side, the daily highlight is the one thing that he absolutely positively must get done, or his day is gonna be whack. And I love looking at the list like that. Like, you know what, I might get that done, I might do that. And looking at it like that, when I do check it off, I feel like it feels even better. And on top of that, there's always, I might not just have one daily highlight, it might be like two, but there is always at least one task that I absolutely have to get done before the day is over. So Ali, we like that structure. Well, I like that structure. Last and certainly not least, did you organize your calendar? Again, this is another area that I do great professionally, but not personally. Your calendar is for all time-based appointments, all of them. And I promise y'all, I'm saying this more for me than for you. So when I look back at this video, I'm like, all right, Deanna, let me take Deanna seriously. Now for Ali, he called his calendar a lash because it got him into shape. And quite honestly, I need mine to get me into shape too. And the only reason why it's not is because I'm not utilizing it like I should and could be. And the reason why my calendar is not able to work at its fullest capacity and really give me the support and love that I need is because I'm not time blocking. Well, correction, I'm not time blocking like I need to. I really have to be much more intentional of making a time block for every single thing, even the things that seem mundane to me. Like in my head, I don't think I have to time block to exercise or time block to eat, but then when I don't time block, I don't exercise and don't eat. You see how that works? He based his life on calendar invites. In all aspects, if it ain't written down, it ain't happening. Now, professionally, I be saying that on the regular, but I'm like, damn, that also could apply personally. Like, that's fine. I'm getting older. There are things I have to write down. Like going Christmas shopping, I should have put that on my calendar. I just forced myself up the other day to go, you know, do a pickup order from Sephora and picking up gift cards and stuff from the store and shit. But I'm like, I wouldn't be rushing to do so if I just made time on my calendar. Like, Deanna, please come on, do better. And a point that was heavily emphasized is to protect your time. When I am time blocking, when I am dedicating certain parts of my day to the things that I want to dedicate to them, it allows me to put tasks in their appropriate spots and to allow me really to accomplish balance. So all the things that I want to get done, I'm actually getting done. And I'm not like trying to play catch up the next day. Ooh, would you look at that? You made it to the end of this video. Thanks for watching.
Sometimes goodbyes are a bitch.
T-shirt idea. Goodbye stink.
I am super excited to put these things into practice. I am really excited to build out my new productivity system for the year. And I hope that the researching and the binge watching that I did helped you build out your productivity system for the new year as well. Again, thank you to these creators. You guys really helped me just get my mind much more in order and just allow me to see exactly how I want to plan out this system for myself. And I think it's going to be fire. I'm just saying, I think it's gonna be fire. As I always say, a lot of my videos are inspired by you guys. So if anybody has any questions, any topics that you would like me to dive deeper into, make sure to drop all of that in the comments below. If you haven't done so already, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, bye y'all.